Hey guys, how you doing? Joe here from the Scruffy Fam. Hey, it's been a long time since we've done any videos. So if you're new here or you guys are interested in seeing some urban homestead stuff, please hit that subscribe button and that bell notification. We don't make any money on YouTube. Just helps get the word out of what we're doing for anybody that lives in a town or a city and doesn't have all that acreage that can do stuff. And some things that we do in our town that might be able to be helpful to you. So today, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you guys how I make salsa. Now, salsa is one of those things that, man, so many people have just different ways that they make it, but there's usually three primary ingredients: tomatoes, peppers, and onions. Those three things, if you have those three things, you can start a salsa. Now, there is a difference between salsa and pico de gallo. Pico de gallo is the fresh chopped with some cilantro and probably some salt and pepper, and then you can do a little twist in it how you would like there too. That's usually a fresh mix, right? And it's a little bit chunkier, it's small dice, you can get a good bite of vegetables every time you're on a chip or a tortilla. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make salsa, and what we're going to do first is we're going to roast off some of our vegetables from our garden. I'm going to put them in our blender. I'm going to pulse it a few times, and it's going to be a little bit more liquid based. And the reason we do that is that not only does it work for just sitting around and popping some chips in, but you can use it when you're cooking. You can use a topper for things. One of our favorite family meals is nachos. I'll make a huge sheet tray of nachos, and then we'll put some of that salsa on there. So come along with me today, and I'll show you guys how I do it. Alright, so let's look what's going in here. Okay, so we're going to call this a garden salsa. We've got tomatoes from our garden, jalapenos from our garden, and onions. Okay, so this isn't all the tomatoes we have, but for this recipe, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use all of these tomatoes. Probably going to use maybe half of these jalapenos. And then I'll use all of these onions. Now, you can make the jalapenos less spicy by deveining them and taking the seeds out. All that is once I'll cut the top off here. So if you cut a ring around the top, okay, and you gently pull that out, you'll be able to pull out an entire seed cluster. That seed cluster is where all of the heat is, okay? So if you pull that out, and then you just slit straight down the side, okay, open it up, and there's little veins inside. You take your knife flat and you cut across, and you can remove those. I'll show you how to do that with one of them. But what I want to do is to prep these. I'm gonna put my oven at 375. I've got aluminum foil over a sheet tray, and the reason I put aluminum foil over it is just for cleanup. Okay, that's the only thing. I'm going to end up cutting the caps off the tomatoes here. If you've got a tomato core, you can use that too. But we've got some flat spots and soft spots that I'm just going to trim those off. For the jalapenos, I'm just going to cut the caps off of some of these. And then for the onions, I'm just going to take this onion skin off. And then we'll get everything on the tray. I'll add a little salt and a little pepper to it. And then I'm just going to stick it in the oven, probably about 15-ish minutes. I say ish because it really depends on where you're at. So I'm going to go ahead and get these prepped. I will show you how to handle the jalapenos. Some people say wear gloves when you do it. Just wash your hands. That's the big thing. There are oils in these. Just wash your hands when you're done. Okay, don't touch anything else. Prep your jalapenos. Wash your hands. So I'm going to get going on this. I'll show you guys the finished product, and I'll show you guys how to take the seeds out and devein one of the jalapenos pretty easily. Alright, so back again. Alright, so this is going to be how you open up a jalapeno, devein it, and get the seeds out. So the first thing, you want to have a very sharp knife, okay? So once we cut through the vein, I'm just going to turn the jalapeno. I'm not dropping my knife down. You see how my knife's just barely going in. Turning around. Turn, 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 turn. Until it connects to the other side, okay? Now check this out. once I turn and pop it, if you look down in there, you'll see all the seeds in the vein. So you see the seeds in the vein there. I'm going to take those seeds out. Okay, we're just going to discard those for now. Now, let the camera focus here. So these seeds are where the heat is. And there's a vein that runs across here that holds the seeds in. It's the piece of the jalapeno that runs down the center that creates those seeds so that you know, as animals eat this and transport around, they'll take the seeds and deposit them, okay? So that's where all the seeds are. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to split this right along the seam. Now, a hack you can do is you can cut off the end here. So here, let's cut off the end. So I'll cut the end off, okay? So there's the end. I'll discard that, and now you can see the bottom of it. So what I'm going to do now, instead of just chopping the whole thing in half, I'm just going to open it up. So again, with a very sharp knife, we're just going to slide it until it starts to open. Now, we're going to open this up. You'll be able to see a much better picture of that vein and the seeds. And you'll probably hear all my kids in the background. That's why we're a Scruffy fam. Okay. So here you go. You've got the seeds. Let's see if we can pick a seed up here. So get a little bit closer. So those are the seeds, okay? There's a lot of heat in those seeds. So if you want spicy, leave seeds in your jalapenos, okay? Now, my family doesn't mind the spice. Our kids handle it really, really well. Let's cut this vein out. So I'm keeping my knife flat because I don't want to damage the meat. And I'm going to cut that vein out. See this vein here that's holding all the seeds? Okay, so that's coming out. If there's a little bit on, and you really just don't want any, you just keep repeating that process until you remove that entire vein. And I'll just cut that. Okay, so just remove that entire vein. Okay? So that entire vein is gone. If there's any seeds on it, you can just scrape the seeds off. And okay, so there you go. Seeds are off, the vein is off. This will now be a mild jalapeno, okay, because you've got all that off. So again, you repeat the process for the other piece. If you're splits, it's okay. It's a very rigid pepper. Okay, so there we go. Got all those pieces out. Okay, and there we go. Deveined, deseeded jalapeno. Now you're going to have oil on your hands. You're going to have some of the seeds still on your hands. When that happens, the first thing you do is you go wash your hands. You don't touch anything else, okay? Don't touch your face. Don't touch your eyes. Touch nothing. Just go wash your hands. So I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands, prep the rest of the jalapenos, and I'll see you guys. All right, so here we go. We've got our tomatoes. I cored out the center of them, cut off some of the flat spots on some of these that had it. Onions. So with the onions, all I did was I took the skin off, I cut off the top, and I cut off the bottom. If you were going to dice onions, don't do that. Okay, if you're going to dice onions, don't cut the top and bottom off. But because I'm whole roasting these, that's why we did it. And here's the jalapenos. I see some seeds in them, that's okay. And then I put some Himalayan salt on here, a little black pepper. Now these are going to go in the oven here. Our oven is set at 375, so you preheat your oven to 375. It's very important that you guys preheat the oven. If you don't preheat the oven, you're not going to get even cooking and even heating. Alright, so here we go. Bottom shelf, usually mid-rack is fine. Okay, go there. And I'm going to set my timer. $15 minutes. And there you go. We'll see you when it's done. Timer's up. I actually did it a little bit additional time because it wasn't quite where I wanted it. Let's check it out and see if it's ready to come out of the oven now. Oh, there we go. Okay, so if you guys will see, the onions are starting to get a little bit of color on them. The jalapenos have kind of curled up, and you can see the tomatoes, the juices are starting to extract from them, and they're getting a little wilty on the sides, getting a little bit darker. That's what I'm looking for. Sometimes you'll fire roast these, and fire roasting these is awesome to do on a grill. If you have a gas stove and you don't mind getting things dirty, you can do that too. I'm going to go ahead and pull these out, and we'll go on what's next. Alright, so this is what it looks like once you get it out of the oven. Notice my jalapenos are curled up a little bit, got a little bit darker on the outside. The onions are getting darker, they're a lot softer, and same with the tomatoes. See how they're wilty a little bit? That's what I'm looking for. We're looking for them to start releasing those oils. So now, we're going to take them, we're going to put them in my Ninja blender, okay? And then we're going to pulse them around. So I'm going to get everything loaded in there, take you guys over to the blender, and we'll see what's next. Alright, look at all those beautiful colors. Now, you gotta be careful with the tomatoes once you do this, because if you don't, you'll make a little bit of a mess. So, this isn't Instagram life, this is real life. That happened while I was trying to get it in there. That sucks. I'm not gonna pull that out and put it in, but if you guys take a look here, we'll look at the top-down view. Alright, looks pretty good. So the only other thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some lemon juice, okay? So we've got this organic lemon juice. If you have a lemon tree or you have organic lemons, you can go ahead. What I actually do when I have a full lemon is I'll cut it, seed it, and then just put the entire thing in, skin and all. Okay, so that's an option that you have. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice in here, and then I'm going to give this a blend. I'll take you guys over to the blender, show you how we do that, clean up my little bit of tomato mess. And then for the ultimate thing is we'll do a taste test and see how the kids like it. So I'm just going to put that lemon juice in, and then we'll meet you guys over at the blender. All right, now we're over at our blender. So here we go. We have a Ninja power blender and processor with variable speed control.
Look, I'm after it.
So we have a Ninja blender with a variable speed control. We got this instead of a Vitamix or an OmniBlend just because of what was available to us at the time. We've got a smaller Ninja blender. This can do small Ninja cups plus this. That's why we got this one. There are definitely other options. But so what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it on and I'm going to pulse. I am not going to do any of the presets that are on here. None of the presets. I'm just going to pulse this, okay? If you can see this right now, you can see there's a lot of liquid already. There's several onions in here. There's the jalapeno. Here's the tomato. I added that lemon juice, so here we go. I'm going to pulse. 1, 2, 3. And I just hold the pulse for just a couple of seconds, okay? Just a couple of seconds. Oh, hear that pressure. All right, So we're gonna look at this now. So we're gonna pop that off. Look at it. Hey, look at all that steam coming off there. So this is a chunky salsa, okay? Chunky salsa. I'm gonna grab a spoon and let's check the consistency and the taste. All right, so here's the ultimate test. Do the kids like it? So here we have
Levi and Shiloh.
Levi and Shiloh. They're super excited. So let's get a little bit of salsa on one chip.
And can I taste
Right.
it?
Okay, open. Open.
Let's just taste it.
All right, Shiloh, your turn. You ready? Open. All right, what do you guys think? Thumbs up. Thumbs up. All right, there you have it. Thumbs up for both the kids. So this garden salsa recipe, super easy. Super, super easy. Jalapenos, tomatoes, onions.
Jalapenos?
The jalapenos, remember the little peppers?
Yeah.
Yep. So we...
Put sauce on it.
Yes. Give me 1 second to finish up, okay? Go back over to the Lego table.
I love that.
So you can see they really like it. That'll probably be snack today. This gave us 64 ounces of salsa, which is about 8 cups. This will probably last till the end of the week. So super simple. Onions, jalapenos, tomatoes. Roast them in your oven at 375, anywhere from 15 to 25 minutes. How long you do that is really based on what you're looking for. If you want to fire roast them, you can do it over a gas grill. Just be really careful with tomatoes because they break down fast, and you actually want that char on the outside. Sometimes I'll do it on my grill. It's a little bit colder today. And go out and fire up the grill for that. Usually if I'm grilling something else, I'll bring some veg out and do that. So also be careful on your salt ratios in here. I just put a little bit of salt over the veg before they go in the oven, because once you blend everything and let everything kind of sit here, if you add too much salt and you start eating tortilla chips specifically or any other food that you're already salting, you could over salt this. So I actually keep it a little bit bland. There's definitely flavor development going on here, but we don't want to overdo it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. We'll be doing a few more recipe videos and how-to videos. You guys seem to like those ones. Those ones get the most views. So we'll kind of talk to you guys about how we do some of the stuff. We're actually going apple picking today, so after that we'll bust out our freeze dryer and show you guys what we ended up getting with that and how we make that work. But today, garden salsa recipe, super simple. If you want to spice it up a little bit, leave the seeds in your jalapenos. You can add cayenne pepper to this, poblanos, anchos. If you want to get really crazy, you can start adding the habaneros and the ghost pepper drops if you want to do that. Really make it your own. The base is simple. The base is tomato, onion, pepper. You choose the pepper. We happen to have a jalapeno plant that produced very well this year, so that's why we use that. You saw it pass the kid test, and really easy. I hope you guys enjoy this, and like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.